So I'm going on vacation. Let's talk about the books I'm bringing with me. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and I'm on vacation, like right now. I'm not here. This is me in the past transmitting a message to you in the future. Save me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. But I wanted to talk about some of the books that I am reading on vacation. This is our annual family beach trip, which means I can't really bring any books that are like crazy involved. So I decided to pick out 5 books that I'm going to read on vacation, or at least that I'm going to have with me. Now, here are the criteria. 1, they've got to be fairly quick reads. I don't want to be trying to read, I don't know, 13 years of X-Men continuity in a week-long vacation. I wanted to read stories that are fairly accessible or stories that I already own, but for whatever reason have fallen behind on. So, and then the other rule is that I am not bringing any physical books with me on this vacation. If I am going to read a book, it is going to be on my iPad. So that means I have to, 1, already own the book digitally. So if I bought it and I got the redemption code on Marvel, cool. Or if I have it like in my Comixology or on Omnibus or whatever, if I already own it, it's fair game. And if I don't already own it, that means it has to be available on one of the many subscription services that I'm a part of. So it's got to be on DC Infinite. It's got to be on Comixology Unlimited. It's got to be on Marvel Unlimited, or it's got to be on Hoopla, which is the digital library app, which, funny enough, actually disqualifies DC Comics because for the first time in a long time, I'm like almost completely caught up on DC Comics. And the only 2 series that I'm behind on are still within the last like 4 to 5 issues. And so since DC Universe Infinite only gets you up until like the most recent books that you can read on DC Infinite are 6 months old unless you upgrade to the Ultra tier. So I guess this is probably the best argument for me to upgrade to the Ultra tier, or the best argument for DC to like quit playing and shorten that window up like Marvel did. But anyway, the point is I won't be reading any DC on this vacation because I'm trying to catch up on books and I don't have those available on the DC Infinite app. So let's talk about the books that I do have available, books that I want to catch up on. And we'll go ahead and start with the number 5 spot, although it's not like this order really means anything. The first thing that I'm going to try to catch up on, or just read in its entirety, is The Resurrection of Magneto. Now, Resurrection of Magneto, written by Al Ewing, follows Storm on her quest to, resurrect Magneto. Now, it turns out like supposedly Magneto was going to be crazy pivotal in the Fall of X era, and this series was going on alongside the Fall of the House of X, the Rise of the Powers of 10, and it was supposed to end just in time to kind of dovetail into the final issue of Fall of the House of X, where Magneto is supposed to make a huge epic appearance. Spoiler alert, Magneto does make an appearance at the end of the Fall of the House of X. Did it matter? To me, not really. To me, I felt like he didn't really do a whole lot. Like, it's not like, I don't know. I thought he had to be back to wrap up the Krakoa era, but I could have done without Magneto's appearance. But everything that I saw from other people who were reading the series said that Resurrection of Magneto was great. And so while I don't think it's going to make me feel any better about Magneto's appearance at the end of it all, it still should be a fun series. And I bought all 4 issues, so I might as well read them, right? Next up is The Sabretooth War, written by Ben Percy and Victor LaValle. My apologies, I don't really know who did the art. I feel like it was 2 artists on Sabretooth War, and one of them's name was Corey something. But anyway, Sabretooth War, basically the final act of the Ben Percy Wolverine saga. And I've told you guys on the pull list that, in my opinion, the Wolverine story ended when they finished up like the whole Beast storyline, the Project Beast. And, I won't spoil what happened with Beast, but when they wrapped that up, I felt like that was the true end of Wolverine and X-Force for that matter. And, it is what it is. But Ben Percy wanted to go out with a bang. Sabretooth had been getting titles. He had 2 miniseries, both written by Victor LaValle, neither of which I ever read. So when it was time for the Sabretooth War, I felt like I hadn't really earned Sabretooth's appearance in my pull list. And so I was collecting them, but I wasn't reading them. It ran 10 issues. Those 10 issues just wrapped this week, which means I own them all in my Marvel Unlimited app. And so I'll probably read those. That'll be a fun, like sort of popcorn, bloody book, in an era of a bunch of bloody red band books. So those are the 2 Marvel books on the list. There might be one more coming up later. But in the number 3 spot is actually this book right here. It's called Scrapper. Scrapper, written by Cliff Bleszinski and Alex de Campi. Cliff Bleszinski, you may know as one of the dudes that like helped with like the Gears of War game. He used to work for Epic Games or something of that sort. I'm not a big gamer, so the name doesn't really mean as much to me. But I was actually sent a review copy of Scrapper issue number 1, and I enjoyed it pretty much. And then I bought a copy of issue 2 and then like never read it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold out for the trade. And so I immediately pre-ordered the trade. That trade is here. To my surprise, it's actually a hardcover. Not an oversized hardcover, but a nice hardcover. So there's that. Scrapper is basically like, what if Batman was a dog? Is actually the Cliff Bleszinski's pitch to Alex de Campi. It's very much like cyberpunk type, all dogs go to heaven, superhero dog. Like, I don't know. The art is dope. So I'm not going to carry this book physically with me on vacation to the beach because I don't want sand in my comic books. But lucky for me, this book is available on the Hoopla digital app. So I'm going to go ahead and borrow that before the library hits its limit for the day. And I'll probably read that over the course of the week. It was only a 5-issue series, so I could probably knock that out in an afternoon. So that's another book that I'm reading, Scrapper by Cliff Bleszinski, Alex de Campi, Sandy Jarrell on art. The next book that I'm going to read is a book that was sent to me to review. This book is called Bang. It's by Joshua Greathouse, or as he's credited, just Greathouse. And Bang is the story. Is the girl's name Bang? Yeah, the girl's name is Bang. She has this really funny hat. And she's like a rebel. I don't know exactly what's going on in her hometown, but she decides to fight against the system, almost kind of like, I don't know, fighting the empire. And basically they decide to give her a head start. Like, okay, yeah, if you decide to leave here and not follow our rules, just know when we meet again, it ain't going to be pretty. And so she kind of leaves her mom's house, or at least that's where I left off in volume 1. It's called Bang, the Ballad of the Tiger. Volume 1 has been out for a little while, and this was sent to me a couple months ago, and I just never really got to it. Like, I read part of it, but not the whole thing. The art in it is beautiful. I really love the flat color style. Even just looking at the art, it kind of reminds me in some ways of like a Mike Mignola, like just the heavy use of shadow and stuff like that. But it's really the expressions on the faces and just the character designs. All of it really is awesome, but I need to finish reading it. So I loaded it up. It's in my Dropbox. It's on the iPad. So I'm going to read Bang, the Ballad of the Tiger, volume 1 in time for my trip to Heroes Con Father's Day weekend. Greathouse is going to be there. Volume 1 and 2 are going to be available in like little mini comics. And my plan is to buy them both when I see my man Greathouse. So shout out to you, dude. But Bang is on my list of books to read on vacation. And then the last book that's on my list to read is kind of like an if I get to it. I have been slowly working my way through Black Panther by Christopher Priest. I'm in the middle of Omnibus Volume 1. Kind of ended the Mephisto saga, and we're going straight into... Sheesh, what is that dude's name? Is it Achebe? Achebe? Anyway, getting into some of that stuff, the political intrigue and whatnot, which is to say I'm very much at the beginning of the Priest Black Panther run. Really fun stuff, really smart stuff, like the jokes that are in this book, especially from like a race standpoint, feel like something you could not get away with in a Marvel comic today. And I really enjoy it. I really, really do. But It's a long epic. The Priest Black Panther run is like 60 issues long. And so I'm probably not going to finish it on this vacation, but I do want to do like a retrospective. And Priest did promise that we could do another interview focused specifically on Black Panther. And he's got some new Marvel stuff coming later this summer. They tapped him for an 85th anniversary special, or a story in their 85th anniversary special. So definitely high time for me to go ahead and get caught up on my Christopher Priest to go along with his Justice League and his Superman Lost and all the other stuff that I've read from Priest this year. This is going to be exciting. So if I get to it, that'll be the book that I'm just kind of reading sporadically all throughout, probably between some of these shorter stories that I've been shouting out. But those are the 5 books that I have focused on reading during my summer vacation, my week-long family vacation. Some of these you'll see me reading on the beach. Well, you won't see me reading them, but some of these I'll be reading on the beach. Most of these I'll be reading when I get back to the Airbnb or whatever the rental house is that we have. So thank you guys for sticking with me even while I'm on vacation. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it works out well. And I won't be here to read the comics or the comments. So I'll see you in another one soon. Till then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.